Hey, come on in. We're having a party. And in the 20s, that meant playing some jazz. Back then, jazz musicians were called cats. This kind of music makes you want to get up and shake a leg. One of the novelty acts was an all-girl jazz band. Here's a sample of one of them. One of the more popular songs and dances was called the Black Bottom. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, you'll see a lovely 1920s lady showing you how to do the Black Bottom. Now it's time to put down that saxophone and pick up the newspaper. Let's read it together. For this edition of the Seattle Post-Intelligencer is Monday, May 9th, 1927. Mars has an atmosphere like Earth. Berkeley, California, May 8th. Important discoveries that may disrupt theories heretofore held on the planet Mars were announced today at the University of California. Professor Robert J. Trumpler was the first astronomer definitely to establish that Mars has an atmosphere equal to the Earth's. This has long been a subject of dispute. The atmosphere he found extends some 52 miles from the planet. The Earth's atmosphere has been observed to extend 68 miles. While assurance of an atmosphere makes tenable the theory of life on Mars, Trumpler declared that there had been nothing to indicate life. He corroborated the theory that Mars has an ice cap and that the vegetation at certain seasons creeps over to the poles, much the same as with the Earth's pole. Says Owlish Oswald, some birds wouldn't cast their bread upon the water unless it came back toasted with poached eggs on top. A movie now playing in Seattle is called The Yankee Clipper. Dora says she's not interested in movies about American barbers. Chicago. Hugh McGovern, seized for gun-toting, had just asked a jury trial on the offense when police found another pistol and brass knuckles in his car and rearrested him. Tinkling Blankets sends him to jail. Hoquiam, May 8th. His blanket rattled, and as a result, Ray Dennis is serving out a $100 fine in the Hoquiam jail. 11 bottles of homemade brew beer, carefully coddled in the coverings, were the cause of Dennis's enforced stay in the city boarding house. Famous troublemakers. Greaseball K. Smear, inventor of patent leather hair. It now takes more oil to dress a head of hair than it does a head of lettuce. The big comb and brush men are all being driven out of business. The younger generation is combing its hair with an oil can. Fraser and Patterson Company, 2nd Avenue. Known for dependability. There is economy in wearing Stetson hats. They last. Ed Oliver, 907 2nd Avenue. Famous hats. This is the famed high hat introduced by Mayor Moore back in the gold rush days of '98. This silk scalp warmer served 2 purposes, some of them holding as much as a gallon and a half. Jim Spangler and Joshua Green still own them, but most of the species were destroyed by small boys during the year of the big snow. This picture will bring tears to the eyes of Pat Sullivan and W.T. Trimble, who were present at the opening of the Grand Ole Opry House on Cherry Street. You know they wore 'em. It is freely predicted that the model will come back into style again, along about the time the Village Romeos start using mustache cups and 2-wheel bicycles. This is the hat my generous husband bought me for Easter. I've tried to tell him that it was all the rage when movie palaces were called nickel shows. So, how does it strike you, boys?
He didn't buy that howl in a millinery shop. He got it in a wax museum. Makes you look like the heroine on the cover of a paper novel. I can faintly remember when all those women used to balance those headaches. Wear that outside these days and you'll be in a street carnival. It's a panic!
Bah!
Heard at 409 Pike. She inquiring about the silk hosiery that Jean is featuring at $1.85. Oh, so you handle ladies' stockings? Bashful Orville, blushing sweetly. Well, not unless I know the girl intimately. Sock. Crash! Back up there and make way for that ambulance. Diary of a Necktie. I was basking in the sunlight at Jean Hatton's window when a stunning gentleman with handsome eyes toddled into the store and said, "Give me that heliotrope tie over in the corner, Jean." It was Harry Gowman, one of the leading dressers, and wasn't I complimented, little diary, when he chose me? That night, when he tucked me under his chin and wore me to the Carl Ryder's Orpheum, I was the proudest tie in all the world. Many happy evenings we spent together, Harry and I, but alas, one day a chilly blonde gave me the eagle stare and yodeled, "Why don't you can the necktie, Harry, and get a new one? Imagine." And that very day, little diary, he jilted me for a cerise thing with purple dots. And now, as I lie pining away in the tie rack, I recall the memories of those happy days I spent around Harry's neck. Until my dying day, I'll curse the hussy who alienated his affections. for being a doll and watching my channel. I have a second channel called Life in the 1800s Newspapers if you're interested in checking it out. Here's that video clip I promised of a lady doing the black bottom.
They call it black.